Are Antoni and co-star Jonathan dating or not? Which star's bridezilla behavior landed his fiancée in the hospital? And which cast member has been married the longest, Tan or Bobby? Hi, I'm Dylan, and today it's all about the love lives of everyone's favorite squad, the Queer Eye guys. Let's start with sizzling food and wine connoisseur Antoni Porowski. We know him as one of the quieter members of the Fab Five. Yeah, he always has that air of mystery around him, not giving away too much of himself, which makes him even more attractive, if that's actually humanly possible. Have you checked out his New York Times best-selling cookbook, Antoni in the Kitchen? But he's not only a chef, he's a super talented actor too, as co-star Karamo pointed out in a Wired video, where the cast members were answering the web's most searched questions about them. In a group chat with Vulture, Porowski himself shared how a former professor suggested he go into acting, because Antoni was failing most of his classes in his major at that time, which was commerce of all things. What? Yeah, anyone can see commerce doesn't suit Antoni. In the end, he graduated in creative arts and said his parents didn't even know for a long time. Wait, his hidden talents don't end there. He's fully bilingual, as he lists Polish as his first language, instead of English. And he also speaks French fluently. Nice, right? If the dice had fallen differently, Antoni might have been Porter instead of Porowski. How so? Well, this handsome TV chef was the first of his family born outside of Europe, in Canada. His mom is from Poland and his dad is from Belgium. While Antoni is a proud immigrant, he did struggle with his identity because of his different surname. At one point, he even considered changing his surname to something more American, like Porter or Portman. Aren't we glad he didn't? Right, so fans have been shipping Antoni and co-star Jonathan relentlessly, and they've been naughty, teasing the world with pics like this one, and also this photo. Doesn't help, does it? Still, they deny they're dating in real life. So, who is the lucky one who gets to stare into Porowski's hazel brown eyes while eating hors d'oeuvres? Joe Crittemeyer and Antoni were romantically linked for more than 7 years and lived together in Brooklyn. But a 2018 Instagram post suggested there's a new man in Antoni's life, namely Trace Lenoff, whose Instagram photos reveal many happy memories between the two. Just look at these photos. As you guessed from the word memories, though, the couple's not together anymore. In late 2019, Porowski confirmed to People, "I'm single now, and it's been a good opportunity to connect with friends." Next, let's talk about everyone's favorite silver-haired fox and dressed to impress, Tan France. Did you know that out of the Fab Five, fashion and style guru, Tan was the only one who hadn't appeared on television at all before Queer Eye? No, we'd never have guessed, as he looks so natural on camera. Tan told Vogue that the entertainment industry wasn't really something he cared about. In fact, he never even auditioned, telling Entertainment Tonight that the producers approached him based on his social media presence. Well, thank goodness for social media. Why did he agree to do the show then? Tan told Vogue, "I wanted to show the world everything that I represent, because I represent a lot that's never really been seen before. An Asian person on American TV who's British, gay, and follows a certain religion." If you didn't know, France is both Pakistani and Muslim, and was raised in Doncaster. On this note, Tan published a memoir titled Naturally Tan, in which he uncovers the racism he had to endure growing up in the UK. He admits to using bleaching cream to be paler. Above else, however, Tan's book is a tribute to his one and only, illustrator Rob France. The couple has been happily married for more than 10 years. Tan told the Irish Examiner that he knew Rob was the right one straight away, and that he was willing to move in with Rob after 2 months. How did their love story start? France shared the touching details with Terry Gross on her show, Fresh Air. Remember that Tan was raised Muslim in a non-alcoholic environment. The two met on an early dating app and, during their first date, when Rob told him about his upbringing in a Wyoming-based, alcohol-free Mormon family, Tan was surprised and thrilled. Why? Because he'd never met a gay guy in his home country of England who didn't drink. So he said finding Rob was like finding a unicorn. Their shared values formed the foundation for a lifelong union. Don't you just love a happy ending? Moving on to incredible listener and giver of good advice, Karamo Brown. Culture expert Karamo always finds common ground, no matter what the situation. Possibly because he himself had to overcome huge obstacles in the past. In 2004, Brown appeared on MTV's hit show The Real World Philadelphia. Karamo told the Washington Post that, at 22, he wasn't prepared to deal with the fame, and it spiraled into addiction problems and tumultuous relationships. He even attempted suicide at his lowest point, but he overcame this period of his life. Let's fast forward 3 years to 2007, when Karamo learned he'd become a father without even having a clue. For real? Yes, 2 years after The Real World aired, Brown received papers demanding late child support payments and learned the news that way. After getting over the initial shock, he flew out to meet his son and the two bonded almost instantly. Karamo obtained custody of Jason Brown in that same year, and later adopted Jason's half-brother Christian as well. If Jason's mother, who moved away after becoming pregnant at 15, hadn't applied for benefits, Brown may never have known the truth. Karamo told The Advocate that his son was a major turning point in his life because it motivated him to start working on himself to strengthen their relationship. If you think Karamo is as fit as he looks, think again. He's admitted that he's apparently, so he says, unfit and unhealthy, and lives on junk food and refuses to work out. He told The Guardian, "All I eat is candy, Coca-Cola, and cookies." Can you believe? So, who's the love of his life? Karamo has been dating assistant director Ian Jordan for 8 years. So everyone was ecstatic when, in 2018 at Ian's birthday party, Karamo asked Ian to marry him. The other 4 members of the Fab Five were all there to share in the joy. Poor Ian had to be hospitalized a few weeks after the proposal though. It seems the slightly overboard wedding planning conversations had been a bit too much for Karamo's fiancée, who suffered from severe anxiety attacks. Oh dear! Karamo paid for a Ferris wheel as part of their planned wedding celebration and, as he told Us Weekly, wanted to model their wedding day on Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's extravagant wedding. Thank you, next. Talented interior design expert DIY guy, Bobby Berk. You might have heard the catchphrase, "Bobby Berk does all the work." Speaking to Architectural Digest, Berk acknowledged that his industry friends agree with fans that he clearly works the hardest of the 5. But of course, he also pointed out his amazing team who makes the miracles possible. He also designed the Fab Five loft. Bobby didn't always have it easy in life. He was adopted and raised in a tight-knit religious environment where he faced homophobia growing up. So he left home at the age of 15, sometimes living on the street, at other times sleeping in his car after working double shifts. Bobby relocated to New York with just $100 in his pocket and eventually found a job at a high-end home furnishing company. With no high school diploma or formal training, he worked his way up to creative director. Impressive. When asked about his worst job ever, Bobby told the Daily Beast it was in retail. He explained that the store was busy, with a lot of angry New Yorkers who wanted to return their aero beds and their soiled sheets and anything else dirty that they could possibly return, because Bed Bath & Beyond lets you return anything. Well, retail surely would have been a waste of his talents. Did you know that in his younger days, Bobby used to be a drag queen called Jessica Grant? Not the most creative. Berk agreed that if he were to do it again, he'd definitely come up with a better name. So as you might know, Bobby is married to maxillofacial surgeon Dewey Doe. But did you know they've been together for 14 years? Dewey avoids the limelight though, and even his Instagram account is private. Where Dewey is quiet and private, Bobby makes up for that. He told stylists that Doe is his greatest love. And after 6 years of marriage in 2018, he celebrated it on Instagram, writing, "We got married as soon as it was legal to get married, and it was important for us to show the world our pride." How heartwarming. And now, saving the best for last. Just kidding, they're all our favorites. Grooming expert and our favorite diva, Jonathan Van Ness. We can all agree that Jonathan is like a breath of fresh air, but his sunny personality has a deeper side if you consider his difficult childhood where he was bullied badly. He's also not a stranger to depression, especially after the death of his stepdad, who passed away in 2012. Jonathan told Ellie, "There were 6 months where I don't think I opened my mail, and I definitely forgot to pay my taxes for like a year. I think that when you get in that really debilitating clinical depression, you can't get out of bed." Reminds us not to judge a book by its cover, right? So what helped him cope and rise above these odds? A few things, like the support of his mother, for one. On his podcast, Getting Curious, Jonathan admitted that, as a child, he would come home in such distress that it still brings his mother pain to recall it to this day. Apart from his mom, he looks up to his figure skating idol, Mirai Nagasu, because she never gave up on her dreams. Yeah, Jonathan himself participated in gymnastics and cheerleading growing up, and still does. And exercise also helped him. It took 2 years for Van Ness to get back into the swing of things, but he told InStyle that he now works out for himself and himself only. He also shares his fitness journey to encourage others. Our glossy-haired Jonathan was romantically linked to rugby player Wilco Froneman for several months before he announced their split on Instagram in December 2018. While first revealing his breakup from Froneman in his Instagram post, Van Ness wrote that cheaters never prosper. Shortly after, though, he deleted the cheating bit and replaced it with the lyrics from Ariana Grande's song, Thank You, Next. After changing his message, Jonathan wrote, Wilco is a good person and sometimes things don't work out. Please don't attack him on his page. Just let us move on, heal, and enjoy your gorgeous New Year's celebration. Your girl Jonathan is just fine. Biggest hug. However, on 1st of January, Wilco seemed to be shading his ex, writing, These are my words, not a lyric from a song. I want to state for the record that I was never unfaithful to Jonathan. Jonathan is single at this stage, but we'd like to leave you with one of his favorite sayings. You're strong. You're a Kelly Clarkson song. You got this. Would you like to see more videos on Queer Eye? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay awesome.